And it's the same thing with your smaller shears. If you're using your smaller blades.
If it's still too bushy for your liking. So just let me know towards the end. Okay. You never told me.
If you're using your smaller shade blades, it's the same thing, all right? So what you're doing is you're using just the top blade to cut, and the bottom blade is holding stationary. Okay? Bottom blade is stationary. Great. Great. That's how you cut.
So, Mr. Kev,
Yes.
may I ask a question?
Yes. We're filming, so you know, hey.
How exactly do you cut split ends into the hair, or is that just all in the dullness of your shears, or does it have something else to do with it?
Well, it's about how you cut. Because a chopping motion is just that. It's going to give you an uneven cut.
So
right?
every time you
And
do you know
the sharpness and the quality of your blade is also going to play a big, huge part.
Okay.
Right?
So just make sure you shouldn't hear a click when you're cutting.
Well, you may, but you shouldn't, because what you're doing is you're dulling your blade if you're doing that. Okay? That chopping motion, you're definitely going to get that sound that you don't want to hear. And also, it also depends on the quality of your shear. Right? Some people cut with, scissors that you get at, Walmart, that you cut paper with. That's not a good shear to cut hair with. Okay?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say,
Just putting it out there.
when you can do better, you do better, right? So it's not a judgment. It's just telling you this is what you should look to achieve, right? So we've talked about our shears. We've talked about our clippers, right? Now let's talk about some of the other things. One of the other things we use to cut hair with is we use a straight razor blade, okay? And this is actually a straight razor, as you can see, right? And how you hold the straight razor is similar. So you want to practice this, okay? You want to practice this, right? See how I'm holding my hand? And so I'm going to put the blade, the long part of the blade that doesn't have the blade in it, there's the handle. You want to put that on the third digit underneath, and take the other two top fingers, put it on the top, and then the thumb rests on the back, okay? And I don't know if you can see that. But that's how you want to hold your straight razor, right?
This is for shaving?
This is for shaving or cutting the hair, okay? Or cutting the hair. So as I'm holding it is how you want to hold it, right? If you can see that there. You notice the position of my two top fingers. Notice the position of the position of my third digit here, and where my pinky is, okay? Got it?
So my husband's finger, my pinky.
Right, your ring finger, right. Absolutely. So now, when you are shaving, or even when you are doing a razor cut, what's going to determine how much hair comes off is how you hold your blade. See, I'm holding my blade this way because it allows me as well, be very careful with that.
It's no blade.
Okay. How do you want to hold this? Because you can cut yourself. I've seen people slice through their fingers and have to go get stitches, okay? So you got to learn the proper technique. So the way I'm holding it, if you watch me here, you're going to see that I took my index finger off. So it is the touch. The more hair comes off by having both fingers on, less hair comes off by having only one finger on.
It's more
okay? Because there's more weight when you put your finger down, right? So when you're cutting through, the less weight that you have on it, less hair comes off. The more weight, the more hair comes off, right? So this is a practice as well. But learn the proper technique, then you can practice it, and you'll learn the differences and the minute subtleties that it's going to require for you to be effectively using your blade. Okay?
Is this little thing on up?
Yes, there's a handle. I took my handle off of it because it's there for your pinky to rest on, and that's to help you control the weight of it as well. But most of us, that use these, we don't necessarily put our finger right there because you can control better by learning how to move your digits on and off the blade. Okay, you learn how to move those digits on and off the blade. That gives you a degree of control, okay, when you're cutting. This is the way you want to hold it. so that you do not slice yourself or slice the client or whatever the case may be. This is the proper way to hold your blade. Okay? Right. Yes, you got it right. That's right. That's right. 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 And you have a guard on yours. Let me see your guard. Let me see your blade. Let me see the whole thing. So, some blades come with the lever on the back, as you can see the lever here, and they come with a guide, right? So as you're getting started, you might want to practice with the guide on so that you really get the whole motion on how to use it, right? That is your guide right there, right? All right, here we go. And the blades that you use, you can use the blades, you can buy them, you know, they're straight razor blades. And there's a lever that's right there, okay, that if you push it forward, the blade slides right out, okay, as you can see. And then when you put the blade in, it holds the blade, slide it back in, you push the lever, and it slides the blade out, as you can see, okay. And it's just that you have to be very careful with learning how to use it. Your finger position, your mind's eye, it just creates muscle memory so you're used to using a straight razor. All right? I highly recommend you getting a balloon, right? And some conditioner or shaving cream. Blow the balloon up, conditioner or shaving cream. And without the blade in it first, just work on your strokes. Work on how you're using it on the surface of the balloon. You know, the different weights that you're putting on your blade as you start to smooth and remove the conditioner off of the balloon. Okay, and once you get that down, then put a blade in there and start seeing if you can do the movements with, you know, the conditioner or the shaving cream or whatever you put on the balloon with the blade on there, and you know that you've nicked him if you pop the balloon, right? You know you nicked him if you pop the balloon. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. You're learning your strokes, and in your barbering book, it's going to show you your shaving strokes and how to position your hands for doing your shave. Okay, so there is an overhand, there's an underhand. This is the underhand, and then there is a overhand position of using your blade. Okay, it's an overhand position of being able to use this blade, right? Underhand and overhand. Okay, so refer to your barbering book and you can see the strokes and learn where you use those strokes on the shave, right? It's going to help you to really develop your muscle memory on how to use this straight razor. Then you can go on to learn how to use it on the hair, because I use this to do thinning on the hair, you know, and I'll show you that on a mannequin, how we use a comb and we use the blade, the straight razor, to do straight razor over comb. And literally you can go and do a nice male haircut and thin that hair out and give that hair movement and direction. You know, you see a lot of guys that have straight hair. You see them taking their hands and working it through their hair to get it to give movement, to create separation. You can create that with your blade and your comb. Okay, it's a razor cut. You know, razor cuts are they used to be very popular, especially if a person has wavy hair or really thick hair. A razor cut is going to be the cut of choice for that person, and you can charge more for a razor cut. Okay, all right, and so those are your working implements. We talked about our combs. You know, we said your different comb sizes are going to help you. Most of the combs have a thin area and a thicker area for pulling up more or less hair off the scalp. Okay. We talked about our shears. We talked about our clippers. Always have a good boar's head bristle brush. Okay, that's going to help you to brush that hair down, right? To lay it down. It also helps to create the waves because it doesn't create static electricity. It's natural hairs. It's soft feeling on a person's scalp. You're not scratching the scalp with the boar's hair bristle brush. Okay, and I'll pass that around so you guys can feel that and feel the difference and how that feels. That's the type of brush you want to be brushing your clients with. Okay. In addition to that, I would definitely have. I just simply use a brush, toothbrush, or what have you. They sell actual brushes to clean your implement with. You know, cut them on and drop them in a little cup of a mixture of alcohol and maybe a little bit of oil, light oil. Mix it, and you can buy those mixtures at your local supply store. And you want to dip your clipper in, and it removes all the cut hairs that you took off that lodged themselves inside the blade. Keep your blade clean. Then take some oil and oil your blade on either side, and then you want to clean it, brush it off. And you should always get in the habit of every time you cut somebody's hair before you put the blade on someone else's scalp, it's a sanitizing. Okay, like I said, those sanitizing solutions you can buy. The H30, I think it's called. You can buy at the store, and you can dip your blade in there to clean it, right? And also, you want to use your brush to clean it off, because sometimes when you're using your clippers, you can go in and you can scratch the scalp, and scratching the scalp can draw blood, and that blood can get on your clippers, and then you can pass that on to someone else if you don't keep your blades clean. Okay, so it's important sanitation is important. The other thing is, the reason why you want to keep your blades clean is because when you're going in there and you're shaving in the back, or you're using your tapers, you can create bacteria on the scalp, right, in the scalp skin, which causes those bumps to form. I know you've probably seen guys with a lot of bumps on the back of their neck. Unclean blades, okay, unsanitary use of implements on that person. And so you don't want to cause that on your client, because it's going to always come back, on you, right? So are there any questions so far? One final thing we're going to go over, and we're going to conclude this segment, is we want to talk about draping our client, right? So you definitely want to have a cutting cape, right? This is my cutting cape. And you want to have what we call Sanex strips. This is a Sanex strip dispenser. Most barbers have them. You can either hang it up, or you can have it on your workstation. Pull one out, and this strip has a little elasticity to it. It stretches, right? You want to take this and you want to stretch it around the neck, okay? And you can fold it over and tie it around the neck, okay? This is going to keep the clippings that you clip off from going down on his neck, right? Because it itches, right? And you don't want him to sit there itching while you cut it in, right? And it's also sanitary because you use your cape oftentimes on different people. So, the part of the cape that touches a person's neck doesn't have to touch your client, the next client, okay? So sanitation is very key when you're doing barbering cuts, okay? Any questions? Any other questions?
When you're doing if you're cutting one person's hair, do you have to use all of these, or does it have to be, because I know right now it's a class that you laying them down so you can give us the breakdown about each of them.
Right.
But if you were to do a client, I know you said these are the clippers, these are the
liners.
Liners.
Liners, clippers.
Clippers, liners, okay. Trimmers. Edgers.
Different words that mean the same thing.
Okay. And if you
Taperers.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah, H30, yes.
Get you some.
Absolutely, you need it, especially in here to clean the clippers.
to clean the clippers.
It comes in and it comes in a bottle like that, and also comes in a jar.
And this is great because it takes HIV.
Okay, let me see.
Right.
Are you
Right.
donating to the poorest?
Huh?
Are you donating to the poorest? People that can't
You're
afford?
richer than me.
All right, so remember we're recording here, so they can't see this, can't see you. So you were asking me the question about whether you have to use all of these. No, but the main consistent things you're going to be using is you're going to have
one of these.
a liner, edger, a clipper. You're going to have a edger, okay? You may need your guides.
Okay.
You may need your dry cutting shear, okay? And your combs. If you got those, you can pretty much go anywhere, okay? Just those, right? Only thing I don't have out here right now is my neck duster. I don't have that here. If you can grab the neck duster over there for me, it's on there. Great, thank you. Thank you, my trusty assistant. Come here, trusty assistant. Everybody see.
Why I gotta be the
Come here, Vanna White, Vanna Black, I'm sorry,
Vanna
with
Black.
braids.
Vanna Brown.
So this is a traditional neck duster. And you also want to make sure this remains clean as well. So what we use talcum powder, or talc, okay? There's different types of talcum that you can buy. If you go to a barber supply store, you'll see the different talcs. But they're used to dust off the clippings off the neck and off the face and what have you not. And this is a typical duster that you use. And you also want to keep it clean. You can spray it with your cleaners or what have you not, and then add a little talcum to it to dry it out, okay? But this is what you're going to use to dust your clients off.
Dust it out.
Okay? Great. Any other questions about anything that you've seen here today?
So far, no.
Okay. Well, great. This concludes our class. Miss Evans, if you want to cut off the